Hey, how you doing? It's Robert here from robertcbrown.online and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Robert. Now the title of this particular session is Live Your Truth. And this is especially important to me to get this across because I see so many people day to day struggling with this very issue in various areas of their life. And it's because they feel pressured into conforming in some way, shape, or form, conforming to fit in. It seems that nobody really wants to be the odd one out, and yet it is those that have the courage to step up and live their truth, speak their truth, walk their truth. Those are the folks that succeed in life on the highest levels. Those are the folks that are normally the happiest and more fulfilled in life. And the question must always be why? It's simple, really. It's because they're being themselves. They're living their truth. They're in line with who they really are. Now, I know I speak about this an awful lot because I do think that when people get away from who they really are, when they allow external stuff, their physical reality, the world, society, to influence the way they think about things, the way they behave, and the way they feel about themselves, this leads to an awful lot of unhappiness and can also lead to folks feeling very, very unfulfilled, and is a contributing factor to an awful lot of suicides. And we know that the suicide rates these days, especially through the whole COVID thing, have gone through the roof, which is just terrible. And the reason for that is because we are getting external stimulus. We are attaching labels to it. Those labels in turn will give us a meaning or have a meaning attached, and those meanings will determine how we feel. And of course, it's momentum. It's like rolling the snowball down the hill. The more you roll, the faster it gets, the bigger the snowball gets, and once it gets to a certain size, a certain weight, a certain speed of momentum, try stopping that sucker. It becomes, well, almost unstoppable. And this is the situation with any kind of negative habitual pattern of thinking. Anything where you're forced to be somebody other than you really are on the inside, and you're forced to do it enough times so that being somebody other than yourself becomes your default setting, effectively overrides your natural setting, well, you're going to be out of alignment, you're going to be unhappy, and you're going to be lost. And I see it all the time. And one of the main reasons for people getting into this situation is they place more faith and more value on other people's opinions of them than they do their own opinion of themselves. And in order to break this cycle, that has to change. Let me just take a sip of my tea. By the way, I've bucked the trend. Coffee with Robert this week is actually tea with Robert, because Robert didn't fancy coffee today. That's actually not true. I had one this morning. But sometimes a good cup of tea is a little bit more refreshing, and I've found the urge to have a cup of tea. So hopefully you won't hold that against me. The content here is still, I hope, valuable to you and will inspire you to make a change in your life for the better. But yeah, you see it in all walks of life, where people feel that they don't conform, feel that they don't fit in because they're adapting the labels and the ideals of their external world, the people in their external world, society, if you like. They're adopting them as their own and integrating them into their lives, which means that they're going through life effectively living as if they were someone else and wondering why they don't feel happy. Society's set up in such a way that there is judgment everywhere you look, no matter in what form it shows up. It can be racially motivated. It can be about your sexual orientation. It can be about anything you can possibly think about. Somebody out there is going to have an opinion and is going to judge you on it. Now, here's the thing. You can't control that. You cannot control what other people think of you, their opinion, or how they feel. And to try will drive you absolutely insane. I'm here to suggest that in order for you to feel fulfilled in life, feel happy, balanced, you need to pay more attention to how you feel about yourself than what others think of you. Let me put it this way. If you go through, I don't care what the situation is that you're feeling judged on right now. Again, whether it be your race, your religious beliefs, your sexuality, whatever it is, your ability in business or lack of, perceived lack of, it doesn't matter what your precise situation is. If you go through life allowing other people to influence you with their perception of you, you're going to be miserable. And as long as you go through life not ever deliberately putting somebody into danger or putting them in a position where it's detrimental to them, you're not deliberately going out of your way to hurt other people. Who says you shouldn't be entitled to do whatever it takes to be happy? You have one life in this present physical form. You're entitled to live it how you see fit and without judgment. And the without judgment thing ain't going to happen. So if there is going to be some judgment going on, you be the judge of you. If you look in the mirror every morning when you brush your teeth and like what you see, that is just about all that matters. If the reverse of that is true, then you have got to go to work on you to improve the situation. But do it because it matters to you. Do not do it because you think it matters to somebody else. Here's a weird thing about humanity. If you go through life feeling kind of insecure about who you are in whatever area of your life you can think of, other people will vibrationally pick up on your insecurity and they will prey on it. It's human nature. They can feel the weakness and they will prey on it. They will magnify it. They will remind you of it. They'll keep jabbing the finger in the sore. But you know what? The minute that you become secure of who you are and what you're about in life and you're happy with that, you're at peace with you. Weird thing is, people are at peace with you. All of that crap stops. People respect you. Why? Because you're strong internally. You know who you are. You love who you are. You embrace who you are. and you unashamedly share yourself with the world because you feel that you are worth sharing with the world. And when you get to that point in life, people will leave you alone, and way more people will come support you, embrace you and applaud you for being you than will ever come and try and criticize you. Why? Because they know instinctively on an innate level that they cannot affect you with criticism anymore. Why? Because you're aligned with you and you have gone way below the subconscious mind, and you are now at a place where faith lives and a knowing. You've connected with who you really are on a spiritual level, and that is absolutely unshakable. I hope it's given you something to think about. It's so important that you learn to love yourself and live your truth. I don't care who it upsets. Anybody in life who truly loves you will embrace you and support you regardless of whether or not you live your life in a way that they agree with or not. And the rest don't matter. All that matters is you, your life, and your ability to live life your way in peace, as you've got no intention of hurting anybody else as you progress through your life. Now, if you intend to tread over people and deliberately hurt people en route to whatever it is that you want, that's a different story. And we can discuss that another time. But I'm assuming most people are good. So I'm assuming you are too. And then all you want out of life is to live it to the max in whatever way you see fit, so that you can be happy. Because that's really all we want, right? We just want to be happy. We just want to be happy. And we've got every right to be happy. It's our birthright. You ever see a miserable baby born? Sure, they cry. But they're pretty happy most of the time. Why? Because they're not affected by anything outside of themselves. And I'm suggesting to you that what you need to do is be less affected by all of that stuff outside of yourself. Go within. Learn to trust your own instinct about you, about what you want. Embrace yourself fully. Learn to love yourself, and others will love you too. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you're living your truth. And if you're not living your truth right now, take on board what I've said. Make the changes necessary. Be strong. You're worth it. Go out there, create life the way you want it to be, and live your truth. Keep checking me out for all of these videos. They come up all the time. I do Coffee with Robert very, very regularly, and I'm also putting videos up on YouTube all the time. So stay in the loop with me. If you want to dig into all things personal and spiritual development and human performance, then get across to my website, robertcbrown.online, robertcbrown.online, and join the family there. It'd be lovely to welcome you there too. And of course, if you love the podcast, then subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Just get hooked in and, click the bell notification. So every time I do one of these videos, you're not going to miss out. You'll get notified straight away. With that said, I'm going to close by saying you're special. Learn to love you. Learn to love everything about you and the way you want to live life. Go out there and do it. Play full out. You're absolutely worth it. Until next time. Cheers.